All right, friends, here's a real quick rundown of kind of how I handle a children's theater show when it's just me by myself with no A2, which means I keep all wireless with me at front of house and use some helicals to get to the stage. I do this because I don't have an A2 and it's easier for me to manage wireless here than all the way down on the stage, all the way down there. So just quickly, it says an M7 we're on today. So I've got channels 1 to 24, which are all my microphones, all my inputs. And then we've got canned music from the pit, from the director, and also sound effects. He's firing both of those, the God mic, my talkback, and my only spare receiver. So all actors are grouped to groups. So I'm just going to reveal this real quick. So I got fixed groups for music, sound effects, and actors. The music, sound effects, and actors are all distributed throughout the venue as far as backstage monitors, all that kind of thing, through matrices. So a matrix feeds, the rail, stage left, stage right, the stage, et cetera, et cetera. Sound effects just goes to left and right. And actors is fed to stage left, stage right for just some general fold back of actors. Hope that makes sense. We'll go back here to DCAs. So then I have a DCA that controls music, sound effects, and then I split up my actors as an ensemble and then my principals. This allows me to keep the principals on top of the ensemble whenever necessary and vice versa. So I can always kind of be doing this to make sure that dialogue is always on top of the ensemble. On the channels and individually, there's a little bit of compression on everybody and just some basic EQ. A lot of that stuff is done within the group. So if you remember, all the actors were bused to a stereo group, a fixed group on that group. Maybe. We've got a little bit of compression on that group in general, and we also have a EQ that is assigned just to the actors. And of course, a house graph and a monograph in this situation. One thing I do in order to keep the actors always above the music is the music group has a compressor on it somewhere. Here we go. Music group has a compressor on it. And that compressor is actually keyed off of the actor group. So therefore, when the singers are singing, the music is ducking. So it's just kind of a quick way for me to be able to control and always keep the dialogue on top all the time so you can hear. Most of the time, I'm mixing line by line off the script. I don't really use scenes very much, especially because on a show like this, I basically have one chance to get it right. And risking that is in scenes can be kind of difficult. So I just kind of go old school, number the script. I will circle when a character comes in, make some general notes to take care of that. And then the whole show, I always have my hand on the actors and then my thumb on the music. So I'm always able to kind of do this and mix the show with my right hand, and also my left hand. I can be setting up what's happening in the next scene. The great thing about ensemble and principal is when the principal's up, and usually they're at the end of a scene, I can duck the ensemble, set the ensemble, and then bring it up when the next page or the next scene is happening. Last thing is I have a little box here that I just kind of hacked together, which allows me to take the headphone output of the console into this box and into my comm. So I'm able to PFL the desk into my comm and also be able to communicate without having to wear another set of headphones, and when the comm box doesn't allow program input. So that's my best punt. Lastly, I use Wireless Workbench to do all the coordination. These racks I just use passive splitters actually as opposed to an active combiner. It's just budget didn't allow to have that. So what I've done is just use helicals, a little bit of boost to come to to overcome the splitter losses. That's kind of it. So I hope that makes sense. Hope that helps somebody, and have a great show.